Welcome to the Learning Lab class, Digital Privacy Basics. My name is Melissa, and I'm one of the Adult and Teen Services librarians at the Arcadia Public Library. We'll be discussing the topic of digital privacy and address how you can protect yourself and your privacy online. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at privacy settings on social media and other best practices to help protect your privacy while using social media. Many of us use social media networks to connect with friends and family online, among other uses. We post images or other information to be shared with others, either widely or with specific groups of people, often called followers, friends, or contacts, depending on the platform. When you create an account on a social media platform, your account will usually default to the most open settings. This is because social media platforms collect tons of information about you and make money selling or using your data. Privacy settings on social media platforms generally work by breaking people into groups that you would share with, such as everyone, friends, or private, just you. The first thing to tackle as it relates to privacy on social media platforms is to close down these open defaults to more private settings. I would recommend opening the settings for each of your social media accounts and going through all the settings to adjust the privacy to a level that you are comfortable with. These are what the menus look like for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you'll notice that there are a lot of menus, and each of these menus will have additional options. This can be somewhat of a double-edged sword. On the one hand, having many options may allow you to set your privacy at an increased level of specificity, but on the other hand, it can be somewhat daunting and overwhelming. Nevertheless, I would encourage everyone to look at the settings in their social media accounts to understand with who and how your information and posts are being shared. So what if you don't yet have a social media account on a particular platform and are thinking about getting one? If you're going to be setting up a new social media account, there are a variety of things to consider and questions to ask yourself. Do you want to use your real name? Does the profile picture or image contain information that I don't want to reveal either in the image or through metadata? You may also want to consider not providing more information than is necessary or required. In the same vein, consider the answers to your security questions, and remember, they don't need to be true. If you make up answers, you can write them down and keep them on your person, as we discussed in the passwords video of this course, or you can add this information to your password manager. And also, like we discussed in the password video, you'll want to create a strong password as well as enable two-factor authentication if possible. The final task when setting up a new social media account would be to adjust your privacy and other settings like we just talked about from the completely open to a comfortable level of closure. Finally, let's talk about social media in general and some best practices. First, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you that the internet is public and permanent. If something is posted to the internet, that information persists even if the original post or image is deleted. Consider that once something is posted online, you don't actually have control over where it goes. Anyone that sees something online can screenshot it and share it with others that you may not originally have intended that content to be shared with. A screenshot is taking a photo of what is displayed on a screen, and that function exists on most, if not all, computers and mobile devices. So it's just something to keep in mind. In the same vein, I would encourage you to be selective and mindful about what you share online. If you aren't comfortable with anyone and everyone in your life seeing it, regardless of your privacy settings, it is likely not best to post it online in the first place. Another best practice when sharing or posting to social media is to be aware of and consider the metadata that you're sharing, like the time and location. This especially applies to photos where that information is often embedded, but can also apply to posts in general. Finally, one of the most important things to consider about privacy is that it's a team sport. You can and should talk to your friends and family about privacy and what you and they are comfortable with being shared online. In this video, we went over privacy settings and best practices for social media. This is the last video in our Learning Lab class, Digital Privacy Basics. We hope that you'll check out our other Learning Lab classes on our channel. And as always, feel free to reach out to library staff if you have any additional questions.